My name is Julie Belair Bach, and I'm the Vice President of Sales for Scholars Choice. For those of you who don't know, at Scholars Choice we have an incredible love of early learning. Everything from birth to 8 is really our bailiwick and really where we really thrive and shine. Myself, one of the very well-educated people here in education, I'm just finishing off my master's and will be graduating in 2020. So what today we really want to talk about and focus on is literacy and early literacy. So when a child is still in the womb, we know the evidence shows us that they recognize mom's voice upon being born, so that we know that they hear. And having an opportunity to listen to music, to listen to stories being told, all begins to help them to make the vital connections that are required for the synapses in their brain to be able to develop cognitively. When children hear words and they see them, they begin to connect that the sounds of the words mean something. For example, puppet, this is a puppet, and we begin to make those connections very young. The most important thing that we can do for children is to talk to them. Talk to them about everything, whether we're preparing their meals, getting their bottles ready, nursing them, playing with them on the floor. If you've watched some of our other sessions, you've seen that we've talked about tummy time. We talk about getting right down on the floor and talking to baby. But here today we want to talk about early literacy. So we have some great books here, and I've used these books before because what I really like about these books is they're rhyming books. And what we know about, if you can't rhyme, you can't read. So, but what we have are little stories. The wheels on the bus go round and round. It's repetitive. It has a lyrical cadence to it, which is easy for children to remember. Here's an example for you. How many of us can't remember the words of a song, but we can all remember the chorus because it's repeated multiple times. And that's why it's easier for us to remember. The same applies to a young child. So reading to your children is number one. But working with words is also very important. And so I have some examples of some ideas that you could do both in your classroom and at home. On the far side here, we have some puzzles. They're self-matching. The word hen only goes with the hen. It doesn't match with the hat even if you try. But these are for a little bit older children. But I did want to point these out to you because it's important that if we're going to be doing puzzles with children, which they love, a child at 3 years old, children who've had a lot of experience with these puzzles can do it. And if you only put out 4 or 5 of them, 2-year-olds can be really successful. Don't put out the whole box. It has 26 different ones. Just put out, as I said, when they first start 2, a little bit more when they get the hang of it. Allowing a child to experience that the image has a matching word, and the matching word has sounds, and the sounds make up the words that describe the image, making that vital connection for them. Here are some other ideas that we have. Let me just put these books down. Here I have some letter recognition, so we could talk about a, s, t. And then we could ask them to see if in this pile they could potentially match the letters. So here we would match an a. We might be able to find the sound. So do you notice I'm talking about sounds, not just letters? We can say the name of that letter is R, just like your name is Emily. The name of the letter is R. The sound of the letter is R. And then we could go even further with our markers again, which are, as you know, my favorite markers. And we could say to the children, what sounds start with R? And then they might say rug. And then you could say, well, let's look to see what rug would look like. So you could write it out, and I apologize, I'm writing sideways. And then you would go about trying to find those letters and making the connection between the initial sound, what does that look like, what is the sound, then doing a word that they know, and if you could find the letters that you might. Another example with the same is with the visual cue. So here I've used some great flashcards, and we'd say, what is this? This is an apple. What is the initial sound? A. What one of our letters makes that sound? A. And then we would find it, identify it, and match it. Another fun one is just to go, what is this sound? Does anyone know the sound of this? This actually starts with my name. My name is Julie. So what would be the J? And then, helping them with cues like I am right now. And then saying, let's go through the box. Oh my goodness, you won't believe that I did not plan this. jam, j. So you would say, then we found it, and we would match it again. So just to reiterate, this one, we develop what the sound is, and we go and find items. And I'm just using these flashcards. You could use the whole room. You could say, oh, what is the sound of ruh, ruh? What color starts with that sound, ruh? And they'll say red, and you'll say, let's go find everything in the room that we can think of that is this color. And so you might, go find a bunch of things. If you think it's going to be too many, say, let's say we're going to find 5 things that start with the sound of red, ruh, red, that match that color. And just so then you're actually doing a little bit of math and language together. But these are all very important, because what you're doing with these is showing children initial sounds, which are the beginning of words. So the next one I've done here, this is again a little fun one. You know how much I love our small world tray. The Active World tray is just phenomenal for all of this. It helps to contain everything for myself and for the children. I've used these great stones with letters in them from Yellow Door. Aren't they beautiful? And they're very tactile, and children can actually feel the letters. And for children who are tactile, kinesthetic learners, to be able to trace that is really, really important for them. You're really re-emphasizing, and as you know, if you've been watching us, that children learn through sensory experience. So now we're getting the sense of touch as well when we're doing this. So we're hearing the sound, we're seeing it, and now we're touching it. So we're hitting 3 of those senses, which really escalates the cognitive development, really plants that learning into their brains, making that vital connection for them. So here, Emily found a frog for me, so which really again helps. Every time you can add a cue for a child, so we say, well, what word are we spelling? Frog. Then the children are learning blending, frog. And then we had a picture of it to help cue them, and then we had our stones here, and we were going to I hope you can see this. Can you see this, Emily, in the view?
If you can hold it up, that would be awesome.
I can. It will all fall over, but what I could do is I could just move it up. So g, and then frog, and I have it spelt underneath just to be able to again reinforce that for them. So I have a few other ideas here, and here I had a holiday one for you I thought was really fun. So we drew a Christmas tree inside of just a Ziploc bag, and I apologize it's leaking. I'm afraid I didn't do a very good job of sealing it. And so what you could put a whole bunch of letters in here, and then put the words underneath that they need to move into the tree. So these letters would be out here, and then you say, can you move in the letters that spell the word tree? Yes, T, R, and see, I'm working on my fine motor skills that really take me to my next level of literacy now that I am going to be printing. R, E, and E. T, R, E, E, T, R, E, E, tree. And it happens to be a Christmas tree as well. But this one is really fun. All it is a Ziploc bag, a little bit of water, and for the holidays you could even put some sparkles in it. You could do anything. You could do a snowman, anything wintry, any theme like that, I think would be great. So there's another idea for you to use. And always with lots of markers when we're talking about literacy, allowing the children to experience not only the sounds, but also the experience of writing. So even on something like this, we could have put tree, and then at the bottom we could have used our markers. I was just thinking this, and then just had them print what it is they saw at the bottom, or on a card like this, because I can just wipe all of this off afterwards and reuse this over and over again. The sensory bag is really nice, allows them to have a lot of fun. And if I'd had a lot on here, you could really begin to capture it. And I would just use the same letters that I used for some of the other things we did, and they're just from the Spananagrams. So it's a game that you could have in your classroom if you're in grades, 1, 2, great, even in preschool. I love this for identifying letters and going on a letter search. You could hide letters around your classroom. You could talk about, find me the letters that I've hid around the classroom. So you might do, here's a A, and I have an R, and I might, let's say, make a word up, show them the word, now ask them to go find a letter, scavenger hunt for all of the letters in my word. So let's say it's tree, Then they go out and they find all the T, the R, the E, and the E that I've placed around the classroom for them. Then they can come back. They could print it. Then they could do this using this little sensory game here. Move the letters into the tree. That's reinforcing on a lot of different levels the same word over and over again, really helping to identify, especially those initial Dolch words that we really want them to capture in their early learning. And, you know, even for children, as I said, as young as 2, in the older preschool, in the older toddler room, I would bring out lots of letters and experience them and experiencing them by writing them down, as I said, as the search for them, and really working on that initial sound with the really young ones. That's what we really want. What is the initial sound of your name? And my name is Michael. My initial sound is So I hope that gave you some ideas today for early literacy in your classroom. There's hundreds more. So this is just one of the early literacy series, and we're going to do a whole lot more. I probably feel there's about at least 5 that I'd like to do. We're going to take things outside as well. So talking about how to do early literacy outside and with gross motor activities as well. So here are the things I need to make sure I tell you. I need to make sure I tell you about the webinar, which is next Tuesday, two Tuesdays ago, November 26th. Not next one, but the one after that. I apologize. So the 26th, 8 p.m., and we're going to be talking about math and early learning in math and how to bring math into your home, how to reinforce it in your center, in both your toddler and preschool rooms, and it's going to be great. Click on the link right here to sign up for the webinar, because if we know you're coming, there's lots of great prizes, and so we want to make sure that we know you're coming. I did a great job of making my sign wet here, but I will try and show you. If you liked what you saw today, please at Scholars Choice, hashtag us, and also like us on Instagram and Facebook. We've been really getting some great response from educators, and so what we've done is we set up a private YouTube channel that has all of these series in it. Come online, take a look at this one, and it'll link you to all of the other ones that we've done. Wanted to remind you that our holiday play guide is just out. If you are a center, refer parents to a place that their toys are great and are going to make a difference in the lives and the learning of children. Come on out to Scholars Choice. We have games that are amazing, keeping your kids off screens, toys that are fabulous, crafts that are amazing, and really will make a difference for them. It's, the most expensive toy you'll ever buy is the toy the child's going to use once or breaks the first time they use it. Also, for those of you who are in early learning, the Magic of Childhood is out. Both pieces have amazing contests in them, so I'm not going to show you because you need to pick one up, open it up, and learn all about it. But please come out, take a look. This Friday is Family and Friends at Scholars Choice, 20% off. Everything online, in stock, out of stock, as well as the stores. And if that's not enough, 10% on points from the holiday toy guide. And for our teachers who are watching, the same applies for decorative. So if you're looking at doing some winter decorative, check us out on Pinterest. We've got some beautiful new bulletin boards that have just been put up. Really great. Love for you to give us feedback. Tell us if you like what we're doing. If you have a particular topic you want us to talk about, we'd love to do that too. You know what? And if you know anyone who's a great guest that you think we should have join us, let us know that. Hope you have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.